What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Friday night Smackdown review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight with the, we knew this last week, but the start of the King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown tournament. I don't know why they just couldn't call it Queen of the Ring for whatever reason. Maybe they just thought both sounded the same, but that's basically what it is. King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. You know how this goes, okay? But before we actually get into the tournament matches themselves, we do have a contract signing for the SmackDown Women's title with Bianca Belair already in the ring. Sasha Banks stand on top of the broadcast table, and Becky with her own table for some reason. And basically, Becky talked about, I still won in 26 seconds and whatnot. And basically talk about Sasha, why are you even in this whole thing? You disco ball-headed fool. Bianca basically through the contract, not through the contract, but through the office chairs and whatnot, basically at both of them, because saying, Sasha, how many times you gotta keep returning and returning and returning, and Becky basically said she was still gonna get her. For some reason, Becky flipped the small table, which didn't make sense. Sasha got in the ring and attacked Bianca from behind. Becky basically got in also. Everybody started fighting each other. Bianca basically picked both of them up, was about to do a double KOD, basically showing the strength of Bianca, but Sasha got off. Bianca ended up using Becky's legs as a weapon, knocking her onto the announce table, and then hitting the KOD on the Becky onto Sasha on top of the announce table. So Bianca standing tall this time and whatnot, taking both opponents down. So this did look good here in this contract signing, which honestly, when you think about it, this match is obviously easy, predictable who's going to win. Okay, we all know it's going to be a crown jewel. I'm sure nobody doesn't really want to see that. But you could basically say Sasha already won right now because, come on, like, obviously Monday kind of gave it away, all right? We know Bianca and Becky been drafted to Raw, okay? So obviously Becky's going to be dropping the title at the crown jewel and Sasha's going to win because this is going to, like, everything takes effective right after crown jewel with all the draft picks, right? And that's when everything goes into effect. So, yeah, it's basically predictable. We know both of them are going to Raw. Sasha's winning the title back. So, that doesn't really make it, you know, how can I say this, a mystery or whatnot. It's really no surprise there. So, they basically gave away the finish when you think about it. So, yeah, Sasha's going to win the title, all right? Next, though, Ray and Dominic were in the back. Ray talked about how, he wants to be the king of the ring, which, honestly, we didn't even know the brackets until tonight, because I was wondering when the brackets were going to be happening, because tonight we have, Ray versus Sammy, Cesaro versus Finn Balor, and on Raw you have Kofi Kingston versus Jinder Mahal, and Xavier Woods versus Ricochet, which I obviously believe Ricochet was going to be in this. Not Ricochet, but Xavier Woods. Don't be surprised if Xavier Woods wins the whole thing. If you know Xavier Woods, he's been talking about the King of the Ring for the past few years now and how he wants to win. So don't be surprised if he wins the whole thing, okay? But as Ray went out there, I think Dominic was talking to him saying he didn't want to go out there with him tonight and whatnot. You need to do this on your own. And for Sammy came out, Sammy said, I think you're better than your dad and everything. Which, here's another thing, too, about this whole King of the Ring tournament. Now, Shinsuke Nakamura was walking around as the king, right? But he ended up giving up his crown back since he is the Intercontinental Champion right now. Here's the thing. How come he just couldn't go back in the tournament and technically defend his King of the Ring thing and just try to go for it again? How come he's not in the tournament? And it's not that big of a bracket, too, because this whole thing is going to end in Saudi Arabia, because, who's even going to become king and queen of the ring and whatnot in Saudi. Because, we have Ray and Sammy first, which Dominic did come out. Sammy tore off the turnbuckle pad, but Ray tried to put it back on there. Ray told Dominic to get down. Zayn ended up pushing Ray into Dominic, rolling him up for the win, which honestly, Sami Zayn also, I don't think he's really going to win this whole thing, because I don't think Sammy even likes going to Saudi Arabia anyways. I think he's kind of said that before, and I think, don't they already have beef with the Syrians and whatnot, if I'm not mistaken? So I don't even think he's really going to go over there, so I think that's kind of easy to tell. He's not going to win this whole thing too, and whatnot. I know we had a Hit Row promo of them coming to SmackDown. Seth Rollins talked about how he invaded Edge's house last week and talked about all he wanted was the answer. He didn't get his answers and whatnot. So he demands answers tonight, but why is he talking to Kayla? He's going to go find someone that has some power, all right? Next, though, we did have the Queen's Crown tournament beginning with what is the women's bracket? Yes, we had Toni Storm versus Zelina Vega, because everyone else we have is also Carmella versus Liv Morgan, Natalya versus Doudrop, and Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke, which didn't we just see that last Monday and that was a squash match? Why are we seeing that again on Raw? I have no idea, okay? But very surprised by this. Toni Storm losing in the first round in 2 minutes. Very questionable. And I'll say this, listen, I'm used to Zelina Vega damn near losing every week until last week, because Vega has mostly lost every match ever since she came back to the company. But Vega winning here, that's a surprise. That's a very big surprise. But Toni Storm losing in the first round, I don't even know what to say about that. That's just surprising. Next, though, we got the Bloodline coming out there. Roman telling everybody to acknowledge him, which they did acknowledge him in San Jose. And talked about how Heyman did his job. He got the Usos back on Smackdown. And he told the fans to acknowledge Heyman then. And then, Roman put his arm around him saying, like, listen, I love you. My cousins love you. You're a wise man to the Bloodline. But you need to be wise and tell everybody the truth. And his fans chanted Suplex City. I thought this was funny. Roman said, silly San Jose. Suplex City doesn't exist. This is the island of relevancy. And he told Heyman, just admit you were responsible for Brock's free agency. And it's Heyman just it's a terrible situation. And, it sounds like I'm spinning things. I've known your family for over 40 years now. And listen, there's a reason why you made me your special counsel. Listen, I'm guilty of a lot of things, but I've never been accused of being something this stupid, okay? And listen, I'm not pulling some trigger or scheme with Brock or whatever you're trying to say I'm trying to do. I'm not leaking this, okay? Because if we're going to work out a strategy, why would I tell him, all right? The conqueror is going to be conquered, all right? But Heyman, says I'm not on his side. But Reigns basically said, listen, I want you looking at camera. I want you to tell Lesnar all this, okay? And Reigns says, listen, I'm not protecting Brock Lesnar, as Heyman said. And listen, he been able to beat The Undertaker's streak, but he's not going to be victorious at Crown Jewel, all right? It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler, and you can believe that before throwing the microphone. So Heyman's still squirming his way every other week. Just squirming and squirming like a worm. Seth Rollins wanted to know if Edge is going to show up tonight. He still wants an answer. He gave back the photo of him and Beth Phoenix, though. So he gave at least some of this Edge's property back. Carmella went against Liv Morgan in the first round of the tournament. They had Carmella in that ridiculous mask and a match that was under 2 minutes. Carmella winning. What the fuck? Clean. What the fuck? I don't know. So next week it's heel versus heel then, with Vega and Carmella. So I'm gonna just say this right now about this whole tournament. Put all your bets on Shayna Baszler. That's it. Just put all your bets on Shayna Baszler, because Toni Storm, I would have thought would have won. Liv Morgan, I thought it would have been a chance, but Carmella went over in under a minute and a half. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about that. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss came out. They were going to interview the Street Profits until, Kevin Owens came out and attacked both of them. But the numbers game took out Kevin Owens, and I guess the Street Profits didn't feel like making the save and left them out there to die. So yeah, Monopoly Man Corbin strikes again. Naomi was in the back pissed off. Why is she in the whole Queen's Crown tournament and whatnot? And she's worthy of being a queen. On SmackDown, DeVille says you're not worthy of nothing around here and whatnot. And DeVille says, you know what? You're going to be in a match next week against me as Sonya Deville. So Sonya Deville returning to the ring next week. And whatnot. Finn Balor went against Cesaro in the first round of King of the Ring tournament. Honestly, this is just the best match of the night. It's the only match that was really that great on this show. Cesaro and Finn, just great match overall. So best match of the night in general, okay? Becky was in the back complaining until she signed the contract. Next week is going to be a supersized SmackDown. SmackDown won't be on Fox next week, but it will be on FS1, and it will have Brock Lesnar being back in the semifinals of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments and whatnot. Seth Rollins did come out at the end of the show, though, basically telling Edge to accept this match. And, you could name the playtime situation, what you want, a street fight, you want to know holds bar. Come on, man, because you're embarrassing yourself. You're looking weak. You're looking weak in front of your family. And, I'm going to prove that I'm not Edge light and I'm better than you. Until Edge actually pulled up into the driveway. Edge came out. Seth got a chair. Edge ended up spearing him in and knocked him onto the announce table. Edge ended up breaking a piece off the chair. It was about to put him in the crossface. Rollins got out of it, though. Edge basically said, you, me, Hell in a Cell. So, Rollins basically looked shocked then as Edge still held the chair in his hand before the show ended off. So, very good segment in the end and whatnot. Big Papa Edge as usual. But, yes, we don't know when that match is going to be. Maybe Saudi Arabia, but it was not announced. But it will be a Hell in a Cell between Edge and Seth Rollins, though, okay? Overall, SmackDown was okay. Like I said, we had the King and, Queen of the Ring tournaments. Obviously, the best match was the Finn and Cesaro match. The women's matches were damn short. You can't really say much from it because it was like, what, 2 minutes? The Heyman segment and Roman was not bad. Even the little contract signing at the beginning also was okay. But yeah, the semifinals will be next week on SmackDown. So it's like I said, this bracket's not really big, and they want to end the tournament at the Blood Money show. So they're going to be crowning somebody as King of the Ring. But we'll find out on Raw who else is going to be in this tournament, okay? But, yes, this was the season premiere of SmackDown, apparently. I always hate when they do, like, it's the season premiere of Raw. It's the season premiere of SmackDown. You guys don't ever take a break. The only reason why you say it's season premiere because they debuted on Fox, like, 2 years ago. But, yeah, I always kind of find it silly when they say the season premiere. It's like, dude, you're here every week, so what's really a season premiere about Raw or SmackDown in general? Doesn't make any sense. But other than that, I'm done with this review. I will be back for an AEW Rampage review. So see you guys later. Peace.